Hey guys, it's Taylor
and Natalie, and today we have another deep podcast. So today's podcast is about abortions.
And today, to mix things up, Natalie and I are both going to take different sides on this topic, even though we both kind of are in the middle of this topic of abortion, but
we both agree that it's not good, but if it's necessary,
came down to it, if we were in the position, we'd probably make the wrong decision to some people.
But it's not like, oh, it's a great thing. We're just like in the middle of it, but
which, like, we don't promote it, we don't support it, but we also aren't like, hey, you did that, you're a terrible person. Like, we don't really have a side to it. But today, Natalie's going to be for abortion, and I'm going to be against abortion, and we're just going to kind of talk about it and bring up some feelings on how we feel about it.
And this is a very sensitive topic, so if you're not going to want to be listening.
If you don't want to hear what we have to say, then tune off.
Kindly. Leave this podcast.
Kindly, yes.
Okay, so I am, for this podcast, pro-abortion, and my opinions on it is if there is a 15-year-old girl who isn't financially stable to provide the baby with what it needs, if it's going to just put the baby up to adoption and let it be in foster care, and like, why, my thing is just like, why have the baby when it's going to go through questioning itself, like, oh, my parents didn't love me, I'm not lovable, so they just gave me away, or the baby's gonna be living in a household or in like a situation where it's not being cared for properly. And because there's a lot that goes with being pregnant and having a child. There's a lot of responsibility, and if a little kid is having a little kid, then I just feel like there is no point in having the baby at all.
I mean, I can agree with that to an extent, but my main side of this is that there are so many people who are not able to like have kids, or like they just aren't allowed, like they aren't able because of their body and etc. That just getting rid of something like that, like something so like sweet and precious that like every mom, every girl, and I mean most girls want to have a kid. They think it's like a precious, like beautiful thing, and for you to just get rid of a child because of maybe not even a careless mistake, but like because of something that you just realize you cannot go forward and do, it's just kind of a hard thing for those women who want to have children, want to have a family, and aren't eligible to do so. So that's just kind of where I am on this. But I also do feel that people who do, if you are a young age and you do have a kid, it can also be such like a wonderful thing. Like someone can, like, I'm sure there are many circumstances where, yes, they have to give up their kid for adoption, but a lot of people can then have an opportunity to help support that child in adoption.
And also, if you're under 18, which is most likely the case
for an abortion
case,
if
you're like,
most
if you're
young children are the ones who are getting
it's not
abortions.
even like, at a certain extent, it's not even your choice. Like, if you're under 18, I think it's like your parents have a lot to do with the decision.
Which is like also like it's a good thing and a bad thing. But one good thing about it is that if your parents are like, yes, you're doing this, you're going for this, then they will be there to help support you and help be there for you. Like, you don't always have to be like, oh, no, I don't want this kid, I'm going to get rid of this kid. Yeah. Because a lot of women do get scared, especially when they're at a young age and they find out they're pregnant. They just shut off their emotions to it. They're like, no, I don't want this kid, I'm getting rid of this kid. And then later down the road, they will regret it. That's what's kind of the scary thing. And also a lot of women also do have like traumatic experiences after having abortions, which is kind of a sad thing. Like, a lot of people do regret it too.
Yeah, that's true. And also, but on the other hand, if you are under 18, you're going to be in high school. You're 15 years old, you're probably going to be like a sophomore in high school. And
Well, then
you
should
have,
be having
yeah,
sex.
that's another thing I wanted to get at. It really makes me mad when people who aren't responsible or not grown are doing grown-up things like sex. If you're gonna do something grown up and as serious as sex, then you should be responsible and you need to take it seriously. You
Because-
can't. That's how people get STDs. That's how people that's how people come to the decision that they have to get an abortion in the first place. So if you're not mature enough to be doing grown-up things, then don't, because there's so much at risk. And there's my little sister, she's in middle school, and she tells me about girls that are pregnant at her freaking middle school. They're not even, some aren't even double digits yet, like not even 10 years. Like, are you serious? And they're pregnant. Like, that just tells you what kind of household they've grown up in and what kind of parenting they've been around. And that's what I'm trying to get to. Like, young mothers usually have children, and their children are young mothers. And that makes sense because I have a lot of friends whose parents had them at 17 years old, and then one of my friends from church, her mom had her at 17 and she had her baby at 18. Like, that is just insane to me. And this all just sums up to, like, your responsibility.
Because, like, if you can't handle it and you can't, not even handle it, but if you're gonna, like, do something so careless and then you're like, oh, I don't want this anymore for myself, then, like, why did you do it in the first place?
Exactly.
Like, you needed to take caution
Yeah.
of what was gonna happen. Because now you're just getting rid of something that could have been something else for someone else.
And not only that, but having your first child should be, like, amazing. Like, that is one of the most, like, amazing experiences you go through in your life.
And it can still be an amazing experience.
But
even
not if you
being
have an
young.
abortion. See, you can obviously tell I'm not pro-abortion, but even if you, like, if you're having an abortion and then you go and have another, you're always gonna have that baby, that person
It's traumatic.
in the back of your mind. Like, dang, like,
You're never gonna
yeah,
let that go.
you're never gonna, and
Ever.
it's just
Like, you think about, what would this person be like? Like, where would I be right now?
Exactly.
Like, there's going to be so many, like, regrets. And maybe, honestly, some people are happy with the decision they make, which is
Yeah.
totally fine. That's totally what you want to do. But I feel a lot of people do regret the decision they make of having it. So, honestly, if it just wasn't a thing, then that's fine. But it's fine.
But if
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine.
But if you, I feel like we keep on repeating this, but don't have sex if you can't take responsibility for the choices, for the consequences that come with sex. Consequences are not being protected, not using birth control, not
This
being.
could also be the guy's fault, too, though.
Yes, this really could.
So
Oh,
talk
also.
to your significant other about this.
Okay, this is also something I've heard a lot of cases of girls getting raped and being pregnant. That is something different,
Which
and
that
that
is
is something
Yeah.
different. And if that's the case, that is not your fault at all. And
love and support you. Because you can make your own decision for
You-
that. I
yeah.
don't want you to think any of this is towards you.
yeah, because that is something like so
very-
traumatic. And then
Yeah.
carrying the child and then having the child in that memory of, like, this child came from me
And honestly,
by being raped.
if that person does have the child, that is probably one of the strongest people
Yeah,
alive right now.
definitely,
That is 100%
definitely.
a strong person right there.
A strong ass woman. Us women, we're strong.
But at the same time, so kind of like being on your side, what your side was supposed to be,
Mhm.
I feel a lot of girls have abortions because of the
They're
opinions
scared.
and judgment from others.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that is
as we
so
just
true.
Said, we're like, oh, girls who are 10 years old are pregnant, like, ew, that's disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
we all have a mindset that you have to be, like, out of college, have a job, like, have
Yeah,
a husband, have a
mhm.
child, which, like, isn't always the
That's
case.
not the case.
I mean, a lot of people are judgmental. Like, I'm honestly a judgmental person. Like, if if I see a pregnant girl in my class, I'd be like, oh, interesting, never thought of that before. But like, that's all for them. If they go through with it, that's great. Like,
there actually is a girl at our school that she's a senior now, but she got pregnant her late sophomore or during the summer, and during her junior year she had a baby belly, and she didn't come to school. She just came to school for the beginning to the middle of junior year. She left and she didn't come back till senior year. But the difference with her is she had the baby. She's getting married now to the guy.
Which really, there shouldn't be judgment with that, because that person is going through something that I'm sure is hard on them. Like, a lot of girls don't even realize that, oh, I have, like, unprotected, like it's something like that where, like, you don't know that it could have happened, you know?
But they do. I don't know. I feel like
I mean, if you're on birth control, 99% protective.
Yeah.
That 1% could be someone who didn't even expect it. But there's also other girls who are going around having sex with a bunch of people, not realizing it, and none of it's protected.
Yeah. Well,
so there's two different cases.
Yeah.
But like, someone who does go through with it, like, there is a side of them that is trying to be strong and, like, are realizing that what they have right now is so great that they don't want to get rid of it.
But I feel the pain on both sides. I feel because a baby is not easy, especially if you're young, you don't have your own place, you're probably living with your parents, you're probably having you're probably having so many problems, your school, college, your future, and you're over here taking care of not only yourself, but, like, a kid that's dependent on you 24/7, like, no sleep. Like, that is so so that's why I see why, bless you, that's why I see why girls get abortions. Like, I see that. Like, I see the struggle of that. But, like I said,
it's just about being smart.
It's just about being responsible. If you're gonna be responsible with having sex, then
you need to be responsible for the consequences that could come.
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of girls my age who have sex and aren't on birth control, don't use condoms because they claim their boyfriend's pull-out game is strong, but that's not always the case. Your pull-out game can't be that strong because I have a girl that used to tell me that all the time my sophomore year. She used to tell me this all the time. She was telling me in English class, and I'd tell her, like, oh, use protection. And her baby is due in a couple months now. So, with that being said, be responsible and
make the right choices. And if you are making choices that you want to make for yourself, then accept the consequences.
Yeah, you really do.
Then don't have an abortion.
Don't let someone else pay for your
sex, and realize that your sex is being not protected. Then expect a baby to be coming sometime soon.
Also, to avoid abortions and all that, if you're having unprotected sex and you feel your period coming, that's what a plan B is for.
Oh, yeah.
Not to have an abortion and not to be in this situation. In the first place, use a damn plan B. Or a condom. So,
bottom line is, there is no judgment for any decision that you make. But, as we've repeated ourselves multiple times, you young ladies and young gentlemen, if you are listening, need to be responsible.
And you young gentlemen need to be respectful. And if you get a girl pregnant...
Now we're going on again.
And if you get a girl pregnant, you better be there for that baby and not just run off. Like, you need
Be
to
that baby daddy.
be the baby daddy you're supposed to be.
Because this is your fault.
this was partly your fault. That sperm went into her egg and created that child. So you better take responsibility for that baby. And that's all I have to say.
Amen. All right, so I think Natalie and I are getting a little
rusty.
But anyways, I think that's a wrap. I think this was a very successful podcast.
Yeah, I got really passionate because this is a really big problem. But no judgment.
Yeah,
And
seriously, no judgment. I mean,
we're on like both sides, to
because
be honest.
there's judgment if you get rid of it, and there's also judgment if you have it.
Uh-huh.
I want you to know that I'm always here for any of you. I will always support you and your stories. Maybe not if you get rid of it, but I'll still listen to you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Anyways, I think we need to wrap this up now.
Okay.
Next-
Bye.
Next week, we'll be bringing out some more podcasts on religion and gun laws.
Oh, yeah, you should let us know what you want our podcast to be about. We don't know a lot, but we have a lot of opinions. And
We try and know.
Yeah,
but
we
don't.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so we're just high school girls. We don't know a lot about anything, so don't take our word for it. Go research.
Be you.
Be you,
Be
do
responsible.
you. Be responsible
and
and
respectful.
listen to your parents.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay, stop. Press the box.